Hello and good morning all children and welcome back again in online studies. Already you all know that we have started lesson number 3, that is animal shelters. So we are going to learn about different type of shelters of animals and birds. We have learned about the bird's nest, that were the tailor bird's nest, about the honeybee, and about the which bird it was, the smaller bird which hangs its nest on the branches of the tree. Okay, so now look on page number 17, that is page number 17 of a textbook of EVS. So here on first para it is given about the rats. I will read the lesson. You also take out the pencil in your hand wherever the hard words that you mark and write down that words in your notebook and learn it. Okay. Rats and mice live underground in fields. They dig into the soil and make holes and burrows to live in. Rats and mice also live in areas where people live. They make holes in the walls or under the floors in houses. They mostly take shelter in mud houses and not in those built with cement. That is because they cannot dig holes into cement construction. So here we have learned about the rats. The rats and the mouse, you must have seen, it is basically around the villages, because in village the houses were built from the mud. They were mud houses. So it is very convenient and easy to dig a hole into the mud houses. But the cement houses, the houses which is built with the cement construction, that is hard for the rats and mice to make holes into it. That is why in the city area we didn't find any type of rats and mice into the houses. It is basically into the village area where the mud houses. Okay, now the next topic given on page number 17, that is animals that find ready shelters in surroundings. So many animals are there in our surrounding. They are not building any type of houses and they are living into the ready shelters. So which are that animals that we will see? Some animals do not make any efforts to build a shelter. They simply look around for a safe place. Some doves and pigeons live in forests. Some live in small hollows in high cliffs. Some live near our houses. They find shelter in gaps in walls. Tigers, leopards, hyenas live in caves. Some type of bats live in tall trees, but some live in dark caverns in mountain, or they look for shelter in old deserted tumble down building. Do you know? It is believed that a cobra lives in an ant hill, but that is not true. Ant hills are built by ants, not by a cobra. The cobras live in holes. So, some animals, those who are not building the houses and they are living into the ready-made shelters, they are not doing anything, any effort to build their shelters, such like the birds, like pigeons. They are just living into the forest, pigeons and doves. They are not building their nests. And they find shelters in the gap of the walls, high cliffs, or near our houses also. If you observe so many buildings, they are living into the outer areas of the windows and the buildings. They are living into the high cliffs. Okay, but some type of wild animals are also, they are not building any shelters for them, just like tigers, leopards and hyenas. They lives into the caves in the forest. Some type of bats, they are living in tall trees, but some type of bats, they are living into the dark caverns of the mountain. Cavern means the dark cliffs of the mountain, or they find the shelter in the old and deserted, tumble down building. Deserted and old buildings. Okay, cobra, some people are telling that cobras are living into the ant hill, but that ant hill is not made by cobra. Cobra is just living into the holes. The ant hills are built by the ants, not by the cobra. So now on page number 18 we will see shelters for domestic animals. So many domestic animals picture is also given here on page number 18. When people keep animals, they build shelters for them. The shelter built for hens is called a chicken coop or hen house. A cow shed is built for cows. The shelter for a horse is called a stable. So, as the wild animals and the forest, they are living into the forest, they are not building any houses, but the animals which we keep as a pet animal, we are building them. We are building the nest or the houses, the shelters for them. If we are keeping the cows with us, we are building a cow shed for them. If we are keeping the hens with us, then we are giving them the chicken coop or hen house. We are preparing it to just protect them from other animals. If we have a fond to keep the horses with us, then we build the stable for the horses to live. So what we have learned from this lesson? Animals need a shelter to protect themselves from the cold, wind, sun, and rain. Some animals build their own shelters. Some animals look for ready shelters in their surroundings. We build shelters for the animals we keep. So, these are the key points of the lesson about the animal shelter, and we have learned it from the lesson only. You also read it out the lesson once again and write down all the hard words of it and read the lesson. So, what things we have to always remember from this lesson? Is it right to keep animals in cages for our pleasure? No. Let them live in their natural surroundings. So you may have observed that into the circus or in the zoo, we are keeping the wild animals into the cages and we are just looking towards them and we are enjoying. But is it fair? Is it right to keep them in cages for our pleasure, for our happiness? No. God has made them to live into the forest, so we also should make them live into their natural surroundings. So in exercise also given on page number 18, that is what's the solution, and you are going to tell me the solution on it. The population of birds in several cities is falling. What could be the reason for that? Their number should increase again. Is it a very serious crisis that the population of the birds in several cities is falling because they didn't get any trees? The least number of trees are there into the city area, and they cannot live on the trees. They cannot build a nest on the trees. They are just living on the in the high cliffs of the buildings and walls, and because of that, if the trees are not there in the city area, they are not getting any fruits to eat, and because of that, the several birds are not getting food, and because of the several birds are decreasing day by day. So what should we do to increase them again? We have to plant more and more trees, and whenever the birds are nearby around our area, we have to feed them. We have to make some shelter outside our houses, in the balcony or in the windows, and we have to provide them the grains to eat and water to drink. Then only they can be alive into this area, in the city area also, and they can increase their numbers. So now on page number 19, think and tell, that we have to see what material do ants use to make ant hill. What do you think? They do not make don't need any material to make anthill. They are just digging the soil, and the soil they are just keeping one above the other, layers by layers, and they are making it a anthill. And the anthill is very deep inside also. If we look into it, they are not taking any material to build the ant hill. Some doves, second number question, some doves and some pigeons have left the jungle and have come to live in areas where people live. Some mice have also done so. What could be the reason for that? The reason for that, because the number of jungles and the number of trees we are cutting down, the deforestation we are making, and because of that we are because of the deforestation we are building the houses and the buildings on that places, and the birds which have the nest on the trees, they don't found any trees to build their nest, and that's why they come towards the areas of cities where the people live. Even the mice and the rats are also turning from the jungle side into the city side, because if the number of trees are decreasing into the jungle, they did not find anything to eat, and that's why they turn towards the cities to in search of their food. So that is why birds and mice they have turned towards the cities. What do you think? You also suggest your answer. Question number 3. In the picture below, match the animal and their shelter. So you have to do it in your textbook. Already the picture has shown here. So here 4 animals are given, animal and bird. So hen lives in a coop. So match the hen with the coop. Sparrow lives in the nest. So match the sparrow with the nest. Rat lives in holes. So hole is not given over here in the picture, but the tiger's cave is there. So tiger and cave we have to match. The extra animal into this match the pair, that is rat. So I hope you understand this all these things and match the pair also on page number 19. Match it with the pencil and read out the lesson again. Write down all the hard word in your notebook and try to understand this lesson again. So this much only is given for this lesson. So what is your activity? The activity for this lesson is you will just draw 5 animals, and you can draw 5 animals or bird, and you can draw their shelters along with, and you will match it very properly, and you will click a photo of it and you will send it into the WhatsApp group of school. Otherwise you can draw and match it in your notebook also. So this is the activity. Okay, so read out the lesson and try to understand it.